Hello there, welcome to part 7 in this 10 minutes at the piano playlist. This 10 minutes is going to be looking at the circular fourths and fifths and how you can use them as a practice table, let's say, in an unmusical way, just to reinforce your awareness of the piano, of all the 12 keys. And when you start to sight read, you will be familiar with all the 12 keys and the key signatures which are written on the actual score. You can use these as practice for your chord types and for structures in music compositions, because the circular fourths and the circular fifths is very commonplace in composition to build songs. So a very useful video coming up for you. So we'll begin on C. Now the reason we begin on C is not because it's special or important in any way more than any of the other keys. It's simply because it doesn't have any sharps or flats. 99% of the time, sharp or flat, sharp meaning you go up one semitone, so this would be a C sharp and this would be a C flat, and that's my point. 99% of the time the sharps and flats are the black notes. C sharp, D flat, D sharp, E flat, F sharp, G flat, G sharp, A flat, A sharp, B flat. But of course there are two white notes together and another two white notes together everywhere on the piano, of course. So this note here could be a C flat, and this can be a B sharp, this can be a F flat, and this can be an E sharp, which does happen in some keys, as you will see. So there are 7 keys with in total, and we're going to go first in the circular fourths, which gives us the flats, and then we'll go in the circular fifths, which gives us the sharps. This is not something that you're going to apply when you're playing the piano. This is just purely a bit of knowledge which gives you a bit more awareness of the piano, and is something to use in your practice. So we'll start on C. You know your major scales already, so we're going to use them now. C major is simply the white notes, doesn't have any let's say black notes meaning sharps and flats, not forgetting that black notes are not the only sharps and flats. Now when we go up a fourth in the key of C, in any key, we come to the F. Because we're going up in the circle of fourths, we're going to get flats, and each time we go up a fourth we're going to get one extra flat. So when this system was created, I wish I had created it, it's a fantastic system, it all falls together nicely and perfectly. You got your major scale, and then you go up a fourth, and then you get one flat based on the major scales template of whole, whole, half, whole, 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 half. So from F we get, so here is our black note, it's a B flat. So C has no flats and no sharps, but that's the circular fifths. F going up a fourth has one flat. We go up a fourth in F, and we get to B flat, and of course this applies to all the letters across the piano. It's not just in this middle section, it's everywhere, of course. We go to B flat, and that is surely going to give us 2 flats, which it will. I'll go from here, it doesn't matter what note we start on. B flat, going up the major scale, gives us an E flat, based on the structure of the major scale. So, B flat has 2 flats. We go up a fourth again, to E flat. Now this is surely going to give us 3 flats. A flat and B flat, which is nice. So E flat has 3 flats. Now the next one, we can just look at the piano and see it visually. We go up a fourth in the key of E flat, which will take us to, giving you a chance to say it, not because I don't know, A flat. A flat must surely have 4 flats. We play the major scale of A flat, and we get B flat, which is the second flat. We get D flat, and we get E flat, and then A flat again at the top, of course, the octave. So A flat, 4 flats. We go up a fourth in A flat, and we get to the D flat. D flat surely has 5 flats itself, and all the black notes. D flat, B flat, D flat, E flat, G flat, A flat, and B flat. So we've got 5 flats this time. A flat had 4, D flat has 5. And we go up again to get 6. And we get to G flat. Now G flat has one of the white notes is going to be a flat. So G flat, A flat, B flat, C flat, D flat, E flat, F itself, and then G flat. And we go up a fourth again if we want to. Now this would be the scale of C flat if we wanted to. Now that contains exactly the same notes as the major scale of B itself, but the notes are named completely differently. They would be C flat, D flat, E flat, F flat, G flat, A flat, B flat, C flat, like this, which is ridiculous. No one really does that. You may find a piece of music written in that key, but I'm sure the composer was just laughing when he finished it. And again, we could go up a fourth and go to F flat if we wanted to, which would give us exactly the same scale as E does, but every note would be called E. Would be called F flat, G flat, A flat, B double flat. It becomes ridiculous, and it goes up. If you look online for something called theoretical keys, you will understand more about why such keys don't really exist. Theoretical keys. So we've got 1, 2. I'm not saying how many flats. I'm just counting the keys. C is the first key. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So it stops. The circle of fourths and the circle of fifths stop on this G flat. This is also going to be the end of the sharps, but of course it's therefore going to be F sharp. This note is called F sharp and G flat. Every note can be called a sharp or a flat, coming from whichever side, and that has a technical word which is enharmonic equivalent. Just a fancy word to mean F sharp, G flat, or D sharp, E flat. That's what it means. This is going to be the final note of the sharps, so the circle of fifths. So let's have a look quickly. C has nothing, of course. Going up a fifth, we get to G. G has one sharp. F sharp. Going up a fifth in G, we get to D. D has two sharps. F sharp and C sharp. Now we can go around the whole circle. D would go to A. A has 3. Then from A to E. E has 4. E goes up a fifth to B. B has 5. I'll go from here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. All the black notes. And then the final one, as I said, F sharp. This has all the 6. Now this one has an E sharp. Like the previous one had a C flat, this one has an E sharp before you get to F sharp. So that's the circle of fourths giving you the flats, and the circle of fifths giving you the sharps. And all you do is, now you know that, you can use that as a tool for your practice of your major scales to reinforce them, and your chord types in all the keys. It's just a very nice pattern to follow. There's nothing musical about it, it's just a way to practice your stuff in a non-musical way. You can of course make your practice musical by applying a bit of rhythm and perhaps doing some different styles. You may, for example, let's just take our major chords and our minor chords. So let's go in the circle of fourths with major triads, and in the circle of fifths with minor triads. So very basically we might I'm playing with two hands here, so just major triads, circle of fourths: C, F, B flat, E flat, A flat, D flat, G flat. Now we might do minors in the circle of fifths: C minor, G minor, D minor, A minor, E minor, B minor, F sharp minor. So it's a nice way to practice your chords. Now you might want to make that musical and perhaps do it with a left hand, maybe as an arpeggio. So you might play C major, going up a fourth to F, up a fourth again to B flat. It's just a nice way to practice your styles of your finger techniques and your major scales just by going around the circle of fourths and the circle of fifths. Like I said in the beginning, these are it's also useful to know these when you start to memorize structures of songs, because many songs are structured in very common chord sequences. I know we've come to the 10-minute point now, but if I very quickly say that, for example, the 12-bar blues takes most commonly the structure 1, 4, 5. So it would play C, upper fourth to F, and then upper fifth perhaps to the G. So that's a kind of common jazz thing, to go up, upper fourth, and then upper fourth again. And then you might go to a 6, to the A, and then to a D, 2, 5, there's a G. Now these are complicated chords. I'm just saying that song structures are structured based on the circular fourths, circular fifths. A lot of times you go up a fourth, you go down a fifth. It's very useful to know this kind of stuff. So, happy circles of fourths and fifths. Subscriptions welcome, comments, likes, have a look at my blog. All the best, see you in part 8. Bye for now.